Hello everyone, it's good to have you back on my channel again, and we are still talking about dyslexia, but today is actually the last on dyslexia. Today we are going to be talking about what you can do as a parent, as a teacher, as a caregiver, what exactly you can do to help your child who has been diagnosed with dyslexia, or probably you have not gone for that diagnosis yet, but then you've noticed the signs and you want to start doing something before you actually probably gather your funds or your resources to go and see a specialist. So these points are supposed to help you. Okay, and so like I said, these points are supposed to help you, to guide you. Even after you have seen a specialist, you can actually also follow these points. Now, the first is understand the basics of dyslexia. So understand what it means, understand what it is. Like, read more about it, know the dynamics. Everything has to do with dyslexia. So that is the first point. When you understand what you are actually working on, it's much easier. And then use individualized approach. And so the fact that let's say A has dyslexia doesn't mean the way you handle A should be the same way you handle B. You should not handle C the same way you handle B. They are all different. So approach each child as an individual. Whether you are a teacher or a parent and you have children who have this learning difficulty, handle them as individuals. Now the next thing is structured literacy. So like I mentioned in the previous video, when you are going to teach a child who has dyslexia, you have to engage all the senses. So don't focus on just sight, don't focus on just write and tactile. Focus on sight, focus on auditory, focus on tactile, every sense. That would make it easy for the child to learn. And then also you're supposed to make sure that whatever you are teaching is structured. So don't just start and then you're teaching the child. Break everything down as best as you can to help that child learn and understand. Okay, and so another thing that we are going to focus on is reading strategies. So as you already know, reading is one of the challenges that any child who has dyslexia actually faces. So one of the things that you can actually teach the child is comprehension skills. So before the child will read, you can ask the child to make predictions. So what do you think you are going to read about? Okay, from the picture, what can you tell about the story? So engage the child so the child's interest is raised. Then you can also teach the child summary. It's another aspect of it. And then aside summary, you can also ask questions. So now the child has read, ask the child very basic questions that would broaden the child's mind, that would get the child's interest. Then there is fluency practice. And so to get a child to become fluent with the reading, don't just take one book and then go through it one day and then you are done. Let the child practice the reading over and over and over until the speed has improved, until they are able to flow. Do not expect the child to just start once and just pick it up. And then there is also decoding of words. So teach the child how to break down the words, how to connect words. Sometimes you see one word and how you pronounce it is not the same way that you pronounce that same word in a different situation. Break all those things down. Let the child understand it. Okay? Now, another thing you can also make use of is assistive technologies. So like I mentioned in the previous video, you can use text-to-speech software or speech-to-text software. And then it's important to also let the child have access to computers, because if writing is a challenge, I don't think typing would be a challenge if you teach the child. Okay, and so let them have access to computers, let them have access to audio books. They don't necessarily always have to read. Let them listen so that they can also all those things will just raise their interest. It would improve whatever it is that you are trying to work on. And then you are also, as a parent, supposed to collaborate with the teacher. If you're a teacher, you are supposed to collaborate with the parent. So whatever you are working on at school is supposed to continue at home. Whatever that is being done at home is supposed to continue at school. There has to be that communication. And then if you are working with the speech therapist, you are supposed to communicate, you are supposed to understand. Sometimes parents tend to leave these things for the teachers or for the specialists and expect that everything will work out. But as a parent, you are supposed to collaborate with them. You are supposed to work together with them. And you're supposed to be very, very patient and persistent. You don't just start one day and expect that everything would work out. You have to keep doing it. Be persistent, be patient about it. Know that this is actually going to get better. And another thing you are supposed to do as a parent or a caregiver or a teacher is to motivate, to encourage the child. Find the things they like, find the things they enjoy, and use those things to encourage them, to motivate them. Reinforces. All these things can help the child. So the child has something little, and don't wait till they read a whole book before you celebrate them. They read a page, celebrate them. They read a paragraph, celebrate them. So as they are doing well now, it wouldn't just be a paragraph or a page. It would actually be maybe 2 leaves, and then now you go to a whole book. Get to know what the child likes and use those things to motivate them, to encourage them. The little thing they do boosts their confidence up. Don't say like, it's a way you can't do it. No. Once you know the child has a condition, it means that it is your place to help the child get better at whatever it is that they are doing. Let's do our very best to encourage and motivate them. Okay, and so to bring this to an end, as much as possible, try and focus on the strength of the child. Find what the child enjoys, what the child likes, and also push that aspect. The fact that the child is probably not good at reading or at spelling or at writing doesn't mean the child will not be good at probably painting. Doesn't mean the child will not probably be good at maybe sewing. So find what the child also likes and then also build that part up. So whilst you are focusing on improving the weakness of the child, do not forget to also build the strength of the child. It is very important to have a very, very good balance. And so this is where we are ending it on dyslexia. In the next episode, we are going to focus on dyscalculia. I'm also going to take my time to break it down, what it is, what it looks like, support, interventions, and every other thing that you would need as a caregiver or a parent to help you understand and help your child best. Thank you so much if you have watched up to this point. Do not forget to comment. Do not forget to like if you have not. Lots of love from me, Anna Musafina, to you all. Mwah!